So, we'll call the meeting to order. All in favor, aye. So why don't we go ahead and get started? I've got nothing. Jenna, you're on.
All right, well, I just figured I'd mention Moose Mountain. We had 85 people show up this year. So it was pretty amazing. We had a good time. We split it with the parent-teacher group, so to keep the cost down a little bit for everybody.
It was awesome. I thought it was a great day. Everybody had fun. Food was cheap.
Yeah.
The coffee was cheap. Just, I thought it was well set up.
Yeah.
And for $5, it was a steal. So
Absolutely.
I thought it was a great deal.
Very good time. The only problem we had was, like we sold out of tickets because Moose Mountain has 100 tubes. So we sold 100, and then we had to turn people away because they didn't have enough tubes, and then not everybody showed up that said they would show up, so those people that we turned away probably could have gone, so I wish there was a way we could.
It's tough to plan. You can't plan on people not being there, though.
Right, exactly. So that was the tough part. Other than that, everything went great. My basketball's done, just finished that last week, and that was a big success.
Boys got a championship,
Yep.
and at least from talking to Talbot, the girls were happy, had a good season.
Yep, I heard there was huge improvement there, and
Good.
everybody seemed very happy with that. The basketball program overall was huge this year. We had like 100 people 100 kids in the program between basketball and cheering.
Wow. How many people?
100 kids.
108?
About 100.
Yeah.
I don't have an exact count, but 8 basketball teams. I had no more room for, no wiggle room whatsoever. So everything went well with that. Mousum Valley Little League is starting up. And we had our first meeting last night.
Who's running that this year?
Mike Smith, Mike's the president, and then Cindy Labby, Barbara Morissette, Jason LaMontagne, Julie Tanner, and myself have been helping.
Sweet.
Yep, so
Sounds
pretty
like a
good
good
crew,
crew.
very
Yeah.
good crew. So we have a coaches meeting next week. Looks like we have 3 T-ball teams, 2 coach pitch. Right now, 1 big minors team. We're hoping to get a few more kids to make 2, and 1 majors. So,
That's 2 coaches, did you say?
2 coach pitch.
Pick?
Coach pitch. The coaches are gonna pitch.
Oh,
It's
pitch,
like in
pitch,
between,
okay.
yeah.
I didn't bring my VA.
Basically, they break the teams down by age. So the youngest kids hit off the tee, they'll have 3 of those teams. Then the next age, the coaches will pitch to the kids, they'll have 2 of those teams. And then they'll have a league where the kids pitch, kids do the pitching, but it's young. And then another league where the kids do the pitching, but it's your A teams, your oldest kids. And your most talented, I think, is the way it works.
So the way they're doing it this year for the majors is, and maybe the minors, is it's embedded in the Sanford program. So it's still Mousum Valley Little League. It's a Mousum Valley Little League team, but we play primarily in Sanford. We have like no games up here. This way it gets us in the playoffs, the All-Stars. I guess they did it last year, and it was a huge success. Everybody loved it. So.
Really?
Yep. We get to play under the lights in the Sanford Park down there.
So it's 1 team of Mousum Valley kids
Right.
playing against the Sanford teams.
Right. Exactly.
So our kids aren't being divided up amongst their teams.
No.
Okay.
It's still in there as Mousum Valley Little League. We'll have Milton Valley Little League hats and uniforms and everything, but we just play against the other Sanford.
That's
And
awesome.
Jason said he'll probably schedule with Old Orchard, trying to get like one game with, try and stay involved with all the other area
That's
little
fantastic.
leagues. So,
Good.
yeah. And they may possibly do that with the minors as well. If they get two, they'll do tryouts and do an A and a B. I
Okay,
guess a lot of the area towns are doing that, and, it just a little bit more of a competitive type.
and put those kids in Sanford too.
Yeah,
Okay.
but it's gonna depend on.
Coach pitch, T-ball is like a rec program right here.
Right
Okay.
here. So I'm not sure how much they're gonna utilize our field. For some reason, Mike was under the impression that the, school plays on our field. I'm like, no, our field is totally available for practices and games, and he's like, oh, good to know. So I'm thinking that might have been what happened last year. For some reason, he had that thought that the
But
school teams.
he's right. The junior high girls played their games on that field.
They did last year?
However, this year, there's no junior high girls softball.
Oh, they didn't,
They didn't have enough.
okay. Well, he may be contacting you to see if Phoebe wants to play, because they're trying to, they've got like 6 girls right now to play softball.
Okay.
And, so they're looking for more softball players.
Yeah. I think she's hoping to play field hockey. But we'll see. She-
Field hockey's not a fall thing? They do
It is a
it
fall
spring?
thing. She's looking, Erica's been looking for a
A
spring version. But that's good to know.
Mhm.
Oh, that's great. Did they say anything, are they looking for money from Acton?
Yes, well, at the end of the meeting, I asked him, I'm like, how much do you normally ask for? I'm like, because I don't remember. I said, we have a meeting tomorrow night, so I'll bring it up. He goes, well, I don't ask for anything, but I think you guys usually give 2,500. I'm like, I don't think it was that much, but,
I think we budget 2,000.
yeah, okay, that's what I was thinking.
But the hardest part was just getting an invoice, getting a bill that we
Okay.
could turn in.
Well, we have another meeting next Tuesday, so I will have him do something up and,
Okay.
get it to Michelle, if that's okay.
I think the last time Michelle paid it, we went without one.
Okay,
Because we had written up in our budget as being allocated to that, I think she just
it
wrote
was
the check.
okay.
So I don't know, still got a day off during the week?
I have Friday off this week, so I can go up and talk to her. I have
It might
to
be
give her
worth
another
it, just to
15
say,
days.
we've got this set aside for this purpose, can you write the check or do you need a bill? We used to need the invoice,
Okay,
but that might have been just the bookkeeping, the way the bookkeeping was being done.
okay.
That's exciting. How many kids from Acton do you foresee playing in the softball, t-ball, coach pitch stuff?
I did the sign-ups. And actually, some of these kids, I had kids from Newfield come along and sign up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was kind of funny. I want to say like 2 or 3.
Because I think, I was following it on Facebook, I think you did 4 different sign-up
I did
sessions.
4 different sign-ups. Okay, 1, 3, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 17, 21, 23, 25, 26. 26 take 2 or 3 away, 'cause some of those were from Newfield.
Okay.
And I anticipate getting more phone calls. It wasn't advertised, it wasn't put in a smart shopper, nothing went home with the kids. So, I'm sure we'll get people that, and we can take more of all the levels except for majors.
Okay.
They've got 12 kids on the major team and only one coach, so.
Yeah, that's what they roll with. Well, and typically, those are the people who know baseball signups are happening. I've been seeing it in the Sanford News, Smart Shopper, towns are advertising, people know it's time to sign up,
Okay.
especially the older people.
Yeah,
I have a hard time having sympathy for 5th and 6th graders that wouldn't be able to get in after all the signups we had.
right.
You know, maybe some of the younger kids, yes.
And I didn't get any 6th graders sign up. I think that they got invited to play with the school.
Well, they did?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's typically gonna be all the sports now. The interest in sports just isn't there anymore for.
I think the last number I saw was like 198 kids in the whole school.
Yeah.
So,
And I was talking to the gym teacher at the school, and he's like, "Oh, I'm looking forward to having Ryan next year." So it's like,
Oh, really?
so he's already counting on the 6th graders playing for the junior high.
that's exciting.
Yeah, so.
All right, so we don't need to buy anything, we just need to give Boston Valley some money.
Right.
What else do you have on your mind, Jana?
Well, bowling, I just wanted to get the approval to set that up next month, either the 18th or the 25th, Saturdays. I usually do it the last Saturday of vacation, so I'm thinking the 25th, I'll just call Olin and
For
see what he has.
vacation?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, and I was trying to get something going for February vacation, but it didn't pan out, but I'm gonna do an open gym on the Wednesday of vacation from 10 to 2. I'll just have like the K through 3 from 10 to 12, and then 4 through 8 from 12 to 2.
For what purpose?
Just to let the kids go in there
Play
and
some basketball.
play basketball, play dodgeball, whatever they want to do. So I've been noticing like Sanford does it, and the kids are just cooped up. February would have been great, but
Are the custodians working during the
yeah,
day?
they work during the day, and I had approval from the school. What happened is I went in on Friday for Ryan's teacher's baby shower, and then the assembly, and by the time I was gonna talk to Ryan Keys on my way out, but she was already gone, so I talked to the principal, Tricia, and she's like, "Oh, we'll get back to you." And then they did, but it was Tuesday when I was gonna have it, and then by then I'd already told everybody, and I'm like, "Oh, I haven't heard from the school," so.
Yeah.
And then they called me up and they're like, "Oh, we expecting kids today?" And it's like, too late now. Ryan had already gone off to the ice castles, and so, well, I'll get it going for April. I won't wait till the last minute this time.
Nice.
And then I wanted to get a jump start on the Mainers Day, if that's all right too, to do that in June.
Yes, what would we do for that? I feel like I've been to that, we've done that.
We did it just last year. It was the last day of school. For
That's right.
$500, and then I had the chorus sing the national anthem.
That's right, okay.
Yeah, and we had a pretty good turnout for it. So, and that was kind of the last minute thing. So if I do it a little bit sooner this year,
That's
then
right.
it should
Oh, that'd be
better.
great.
And I only have one more thing, is soccer. Is that something we should, I want to try and find somebody to run the program. But I'd like to do signups in the spring instead of the fall, that way if there's not enough interest, we can give them their money back and cancel it altogether. I think it was great for kindergarten through 2nd, 3rd grade. It was when they got a little bit older that there just weren't enough kids.
Right.
But I know the ones that did play had a blast, so I hate to to see if I can find somebody to run it and have it again.
Well, I think if you do the signups in the spring, that's not a good way to gauge interest in the fall.
Really?
Yeah. I think a lot of the reason we stopped doing it is because so few people signed up in the spring. They waited till the end of summer to start asking, or the start of school in the fall.
But if we sent home the signups and like let it go through the summer, and then say the end of August, we're still not getting it, do one final push and,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Whatever happened to that guy that wanted to run all the programs and everything like that?
He moved, New Jersey, Maryland,
Virginia, I think.
Virginia.
Did he ever do any coaching or anything like that? No. No?
Didn't pan out, Bill. We gave him a shot, but it just didn't pan out.
Yeah.
He did send a few practice
Uh,
schedules and routines, things like that to follow, which was nice. I would love to see soccer happen again. I think it'd be great. And I like going down, I like that it's happening down there. But it's small. What did Shapley do last year, do you know?
I think they just had a small program as well. And they did say that if we got teams together, we could play against them. If we knew in advance, you know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
Last year was kind of
Who did they play last year? Where did they play? They played themselves?
I think they, you know what, I don't even know, to be honest.
Was that Cindy Levy? Or Julie?
Well, Cindy and Julie are the only two rec members over there as well,
Okay.
so it's the two of them.
I'd like to see something happen. I enjoy it.
Do you have any objections to me, like, trying to find somebody to run it, and then,
Not at all.
you know, I don't mind helping them, you know, get it going, you know,
Right.
and doing the signups and stuff. I do know some of the people suggested doing the soccer signups in the spring,
Yeah.
because that's when all the other area towns do it, so.
Yeah.
If we advertise it in the Smart Shopper and send it home and,
Janet, I say do it.
okay.
I think you're gonna be disheartened, but push it. Maybe I'll be wrong. I say get as many, spend the money to put it in the Smart Shopper. I think that sounds great. We have an advertising budget, may as well use it.
And then we have that warrant and finance meeting coming up.
Have you seen the date on that?
I have, but I don't know when it is.
Bill, do you know when that is? So we should be attending a warrant and finance committee meeting at some point.
Yeah,
Do you know when those are?
you mean when they,
When they want to meet with the rec?
you're not talking about each committee and so forth coming in to speak for their budget or anything like that, right?
Yes.
Or, okay, that hasn't been set, but it's gonna be very soon. I'll get you that information.
I think they sent the day,
Really?
isn't it?
They might-
The end of March?
You mean the warrant and finance?
Right.
Right, because the selectmen haven't done, any of that yet. But it's coming soon, they do all the charities and,
You guys would all sit down together, right? Selectmen and warrant and finance, all at the same time?
yeah,
Yeah.
Just that's what we did last year, and it seemed to work pretty well.
Yeah, good. You think the end of March? Or April?
April, I think, I didn't say March.
Okay.
No, I said
Oh, you
March.
said
I thought I saw the date as March.
I don't think it's.
As far as the
it's
budget
not-
goes, Talbot put the same thing in that we had last year. He still had it on file, updated the dates to 15, 16, and I thought that was good. It seems to be flexible enough that we can work with it.
So another thing too is I'm like really concerned about the future of the rec. You know, if Ryan ages out, which it's gonna happen next year regardless, you know, I'm gonna want
He's going into sixth
He's
grade,
going into 6th grade next year,
so he's gonna start playing all the sports with the school.
probably.
Yeah.
So, obviously I'm gonna wanna help out with whatever he's affiliated with, you know?
Yep,
And I'm sure you know,
yep.
so I don't know what to do to draw people in. I really don't. I've sent things home through the school.
I don't know either. I think something will come up. I don't know what. Are you gonna do,
Take it as it goes, I guess.
Are you gonna do basketball next year, do you know, or are you gonna wait? if
I'm
Ryan
hoping
goes
to help somebody else do basketball, that way they can take it from there, because,
Okay,
I mean, it was a good year, but it's a lot of stress. And it was an extremely stressful year, so. But I'd like to, you know, obviously, it's not fun doing something that you've never done before, so if somebody could help me next year and transition and, you know, to doing it the next, you know, after that, it would be great, so. But then again, I don't know who.
I don't either. Trying to think of young kids that we saw out there a lot. And even finding coaches is hard. Never mind somebody around the program. Well, maybe that'll be something we end up advertising too in the fall. Basketball is coming, unless somebody steps up to run the program, it's not gonna happen. What do you think? I mean, 'cause we had 100 kids,
Yeah,
so.
I hate to see it,
Right.
you know,
Right.
go backwards. If it comes down to it, I'll do it by myself next year, but it'll be the last year,
Yeah.
you know, so. I'm just saying to make it easier for whoever does it next, it'd be great to have that help next year. That's all I have.
Yeah, I've got nothing. All right, so, meeting adjourned. You guys all set? You got anything you wanna add, Bill? You got anything you need to tell us or need to share with us?
Oh, no, I was just here to show my face.
Okay. All right, then I think we've wrapped up our meeting.